Imagine your phone ringing late at night. You answer, and you hear your child's voice, crying, panicked. "Mom, I'm in trouble. I had an accident. They say I need to pay. Please don't tell Dad. Just send the money." The voice sounds exactly like them. Same tone, same breathing, same way they say mom. You don't hesitate. Within minutes, you send the money, thousands of dollars. But there's just one problem. Your child never made that call. The voice was generated by artificial intelligence.
What you just witnessed is the AI voice clone scam, a cybercrime wave so convincing that even the most careful people fall for it. Welcome to part 1 of our 3-part investigation. The technology that changed everything. Over the next 6 minutes, we will dismantle the technical core of this threat. We'll break down exactly how AI maps your voice into pure data and dreams it back into existence with terrifying precision. This is the foundation of the era of synthetic deception. Let's look at the tech shift that made the impossible a reality.
For decades, scammers relied on simple tricks, fake emails and impersonation calls. Most people could recognize the warning signs, but AI changed the rules. Today, advanced models can replicate a human voice with terrifying accuracy using only a few seconds of audio. This shift from guesswork to generation has turned every public audio clip into a potential weapon. Every time we post our voice online, on TikTok, Instagram, or podcasts, we create a sample dataset that can be scraped and weaponized in under a minute. The raw material for your own digital shadow is everywhere. To truly understand how AI mimics us, we must first understand the organic complexity of the human voice. Sound begins in the lungs, traveling through the vocal folds which vibrate hundreds of times per second. This air is then shaped by the vocal tract, the unique geometry of your throat, mouth, and nasal cavities. These physical dimensions create resonant frequencies that are as unique as a fingerprint. AI doesn't just record this sound. It maps the physical architecture that created it, capturing the unique acoustic signature of your biological being. The raw waveform is converted into a Mel spectrogram, a visual map of energy across frequencies over time, tuned to human hearing. This isn't just a picture. It's a high-dimensional mathematical representation of your vocal tract, mouth shape, and specific breathing habits. The machine captures the unique spectral fingerprint that defines your vocal identity, translating organic nuances into a structured grid of data points ready for the AI to learn. It is the machine's primary sensory input for vocal reconstruction, turning sound into geometry.
The machine doesn't just record the sound, it analyzes the physics. Every throat vibration, every whistle of air through the teeth, it's all captured as data. But to clone a voice, the AI needs more than just a map. It needs a blueprint. That's where the coefficients come in. We are talking about Mel frequency cepstral coefficients, the mathematical signature of your identity. Let's look at the math that makes impersonation possible. It's time to dive into the Fourier transforms.
From that spectrogram, the system extracts Mel frequency cepstral coefficients, MFCCs. This is the machine's blueprint of your voice. Using complex logarithms and the discrete Fourier transform, MFCCs condense spectral patterns into high-dimensional data vectors. This mathematical engine breaks down human sound into individual harmonics, allowing the AI to analyze the exact geometry of your speech. It captures the tiniest pitch shifts and tonal inconsistencies that make you unique. It is the ultimate compression of identity into pure math, reducing the complexity of human emotion to numerical vectors. Those MFCC vectors are fed into a neural vocoder, architectures like WaveNet or Hi-Fi GAN. Instead of playing back recorded audio, these models generate sound sample by sample, predicting the next point in the waveform. The AI is literally dreaming your voice in real time. By training on thousands of hours of speech, it understands the underlying structure of language and emotion. The result is speech that doesn't just sound human, it sounds like you. To the untrained ear, the synthetic is now indistinguishable from the organic. The machine has learned the melody of your existence.
The technical foundation is complete, and the synthetic identity is ready for deployment. But how is this technology being used to dismantle lives and industries? Join us in part 2, where we leave the lab and look at the real-world investigative fallout, from global ransom waves to corporate CEO fraud. The technology is just the beginning. The execution is where the danger truly lies. Welcome back to part 2 of our investigation, Global Fallout and the Psychology of Fear. In part 1, we saw the math behind the voice. Now, we see how that math is being used as a weapon. This scam isn't theoretical. It is happening right now, across every continent, exploiting the hierarchy of trust in families and businesses. From the quiet suburbs of Canada to the high-rise corporate offices of Europe, the fallout is devastating. In this part, we will explore the real-world victims and the biological shortcuts scammers use to hack our brains. Let's look at our first case study, the family ransom. In Canada, a mother received a call that sounded exactly like her teenage daughter. The voice was crying, terrified, claiming she had been kidnapped and needed ransom money. Every instinct told her to protect her child. She was seconds away from sending thousands of dollars to a criminal's account. Only later did she discover that her daughter had been safe at school the entire time. The voice on the phone was a digital ghost, a perfect synthetic replica used to hijack a mother's deepest protective instincts. It was a complete fabrication powered by a few seconds of audio. This case highlights the brutal efficiency of synthetic identity theft. In the United States, another mother was told her daughter was in a car crash. A man joined the line pretending to be a lawyer, demanding immediate payment for bail and medical fees. The cloned voice begged for help, crying out in pain and panic. Everything sounded professional and urgent, perfectly staged to activate the biological fight-or-flight response. The layer of realism provided by the AI made the deception almost impossible to detect. Panic was the scammer's greatest ally, ensuring the victim acted before she could verify the truth. The machine had mastered the sound of trauma to breach the logic of the mind. In Europe, scammers moved up the ladder to target multinational corporations. By cloning the voices of CEOs, they called finance departments, ordering urgent, confidential transfers for secret deals. Companies have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars from a single, perfectly timed call. These criminals conduct deep research on social media and professional networks to make their impersonations indistinguishable, exploiting the hierarchy of corporate trust. It is the ultimate evolution of social engineering, where the synthetic voice of authority is used to bypass the most secure financial protocols. Even the sharpest financial minds fell for the digital double. But these cases are just the beginning. The threat is expanding into new territories and targeting new vulnerabilities. In Asia and South America, we are seeing a shift toward industrial-scale operations that combine technical exploits with psychological manipulation. The synthetic voice is becoming a universal key, capable of unlocking everything from family savings to secure enterprise servers. Let's look at how this global network operates. It is a multi-vector assault on the concept of identity itself. In Asia, enterprise breaches use voice cloning to bypass biometric security and gain server access. Meanwhile, in South America, virtual kidnappings target families of travelers. Scammers call using cloned voices of relatives abroad, demanding ransoms for a safe return. The reach of a synthetic voice is limitless, crossing borders and jurisdictions to make prosecution nearly impossible. Scammers exploit isolation and distance, turning our connected world into a playground for synthetic identity theft. The human element remains the weakest link in the security chain, and the machine is learning how to pull the strings with terrifying efficiency. The most terrifying part of these scams isn't the code, it's the psychology. Specifically, the amygdala hijack. Human beings are biologically wired to trust familiar voices. Our brains attach deep emotional meaning to the resonance of people we love. When you hear that voice in distress, your logical brain, the prefrontal cortex, gets sidelined. The amygdala, your brain's threat detector, takes over and pushes you to act instantly. Scammers know this biological shortcut and exploit it with mathematical precision to ensure you act before you think. They are hacking the human hardware, turning our love and fear into a technical exploit. Psychologists call this the halo effect of vocal recognition. When we hear a voice we love, our brains automatically project positive traits like truth and safety onto the speaker. This deep-seated bias is what prevents victims from questioning the technical impossibility of the call. The scammer doesn't just steal a voice, they steal the foundation of trust that voice represents. By the time logic catches up, the financial loss is complete. The sound of trust has become the sound of deception. We are biological beings in a digital cage. We have seen the global fallout and the biological triggers that make these scams so effective. But what is happening behind the digital curtain? Join us in the final part of our investigation, where we dive into the dark web economy of voice cloning and the new front line of digital defense. The battle for your voice is about to begin. I'll see you in part 3. Thank you for joining us on this investigation into the global fallout of synthetic identity. Stay vigilant. Welcome to the final part of our investigation, the war for identity. We've seen the technology and we've seen the global fallout, but behind these calls is an organized, industrial-scale criminal ecosystem. In this final part, we look deeper into the underground economy of voice cloning, where your identity is packaged and sold as a service. We'll also explore the new frontline of digital defense, from forensic artifact analysis to the rise of biometric blockchain identity. The net is closing, but the technology is evolving faster than ever. Let's enter the dark web. On underground forums and private channels, entire scam-as-a-service toolkits are traded and sold. These bundles include everything a criminal needs: scripts for what to say, lists of vulnerable targets, and guides on which relatives to impersonate. Some even include pre-configured AI models and stolen voice datasets, making it possible for a beginner to launch a convincing voice scam in a single afternoon. The barriers to entry have been replaced by automated menus of criminal intent, allowing anyone with an internet connection to weaponize synthetic speech. The industry is professionalized, highly profitable, and accelerating at an exponential rate. Your voice is the asset. The cost of running these scams is plummeting. Automated dialers combined with AI voices mean criminals no longer need to call one person at a time. They can hit thousands of targets across multiple countries in parallel, looking for the one victim who is vulnerable enough to believe the lie. These systems can even tweak the cloned voice in real time, adjusting pitch, pace, and emotional tone depending on the victim's reaction. We are seeing an industrial-scale deployment of synthetic impersonation that traditional fraud detection systems were never built to catch. The scale is unprecedented, and the speed of evolution is outpacing our defenses. This is high-tech warfare on a global scale. But law enforcement is fighting back. Global agencies are forming specialized cybercrime task forces to track these networks. By analyzing the subtle digital signatures left behind by neural vocoders, investigators can trace the origin of a synthetic voice. They are working with tech companies to implement real-time detection at the carrier level, stopping the calls before they ever reach your phone. It is a high-stakes game of cat and mouse played in the cloud. Forensic investigators are now tracing the technical provenance of every call, looking for the machine behind the mask. As the threat grows, so does our ability to detect it. We are in a high-stakes game played out in the frequencies of the human voice. Every synthetic sound leaves a digital breadcrumb, an artifact of the machine. Investigators are now using the same AI technology to identify these hidden signatures and shut down the networks of deception. Let's look at the science of digital forensics and the future of voice verification. Our ears may fail us, but the math does not. Digital forensics is the new frontline. Every AI-generated voice, no matter how realistic, contains subtle artifacts, micro-silences, and frequency anomalies invisible to the human ear but detectable by software. Analysts slice the audio wave with digital lenses to reveal the mathematical lattice of the neural vocoder. Researchers are also developing voice watermarking technology that embeds invisible digital signatures into AI-generated clips. This allows platforms to identify synthetic content instantly. It is a defining battle between generation and detection. a race to build digital antibodies against synthetic identity theft. Trust is now something we must prove through data. How do you fight back? The most effective tool is friction. If a call demands urgent payment, hang up and call back using a known number. Second, and most importantly, create a family-safe word, a secret phrase known only to your inner circle. It's the ultimate analog shield against digital lies. As we look to the future, our very concept of identity is changing. Your voice is now a biometric identity key. We are moving toward a world of digital proof with the rise of voice encryption and blockchain-based authentication to verify callers in real time. Digital privacy is no longer optional. It is your critical security infrastructure. Protect your signature. As we look to the future, our very concept of identity is changing. Your voice is now a biometric identity key. We are moving toward a world of digital proof, where every sound must be verified. We are seeing the rise of voice encryption and blockchain-based authentication to verify callers in real time. In a world where your voice can be stolen, digital privacy is no longer optional. It is your critical security infrastructure. The future of identity is not just about what we say, but how we prove it's really us saying it. Our voices are our digital signatures. The rise of AI voice cloning is forcing us to rethink what identity really means. For decades, a voice was a trusted signature. But now, software can generate a version of you that even you might struggle to distinguish from the real thing. We are entering a future where our ears can no longer be trusted. So the next time your phone rings, pause and verify. Is this a human being or a machine wearing someone's voice? The choice to verify is yours. The stakes are everything. Thank you for joining us on this investigation. Stay safe and stay vigilant. The future is here. The choice is yours.